I have a $509 custom gaming PC in February of 2026. We don't have any sponsored parts. I bought literally everything this weekend. Okay, this is as up to date as my build guides can possibly get. There are, of course, some used components, several used components. But the whole thing cost me $509. I will admit, most of my build guide videos are all about, like, super easy to copy, you know, repeatable, practical. This one is more on the, hey man, I was sniping for the good deals this time, you know. So let's jump in here. The start of this build guide isn't that great though. Not because the part is bad, but because the part is not here yet. Okay. It's not a stretch though. You guys will actually believe me with this one. The CPU we're going with is the Ryzen 5 3600, which is not this right here, because my 3600 is still on its way from eBay. I got it for $60. That's actually not a good deal. I mean, it's a good deal, but it's not like a crazy deal. It's a Ryzen 5 3600. I paid $60 for it used. It's not getting here till tomorrow. I got to do this build today. It is what it is. So tonight, we're going to use a 5500. It's actually, like, ironically, very similar performance. But for the YouTube video, we're going to... Sam at the office is going to uninstall this 5500, put in the 3600. So unfortunately, he has to put in the work for this one. But so I can build this PC tonight, I'm just going to use a 5500. Very similar in performance, though. Ryzen 5 3600 for $60 used. Here's where the deals actually start, though. I'm a little nervous about this one. Can anybody guess if this is new or used? Oh boy. This is actually like the first time I'm really looking at it here. This is a Gigabyte B550M K. Oh, we got it. We got an IO shield. That's good. Okay. All right. I was afraid we weren't going to get that. I bought this used off of Amazon resale for $66. $66 Amazon resale. If you're ever on Amazon, right to the left of the search bar, go to Amazon resale, and that's like what it used to be called Amazon warehouse. And that's how you buy used products. $66. Not bad. Not bad. Hold on, they get better. This is the best deal out of all of them. Okay? I showed this earlier. I know it's crucial, but hear me out. I did not give Crucial money. I bought this used from somebody else. I bought this used off of Jawa. This is a 16 gigabyte DDR4 kit. Clocked at 4,000 megahertz. 4,000 megahertz. I said this earlier. But even during, or even before the RAM shortage, I don't think I've ever even used 4,000 megahertz DDR4. This is super fast for DDR4. Typically, we go 3,000, 3,200 megahertz ideal, maybe 3,600 megahertz. Not really during the shortage anymore. 4,000 megahertz RAM. I got it used off Jawa. $90. Used on Jawa. Dude, let's go. This is quite... Oh, I didn't even realize this opens up. Wow, that's fancy. $90. Used on Jawa. Dude, let's go. The reason why I'm smiling ear to ear is because I haven't had a RAM deal in 6 months, man. That's crazy. I don't pride myself on good deals often, because again, I usually don't make videos like this where I'm trying to get the once in a lifetime deals. I usually try to make things repeatable. This is a good one. That was a very good deal. I'm proud of that one. All right, this one I'm not so proud of. This, I had to buy brand new. Dude, I'm not going to overhype this one. I have no idea who or what that even is, man. Avo Eddie of Avoti. Dude, I got no idea, man. No idea. The worst part here, ladies and gentlemen, is this. 512 gigabytes. Guys, you're not getting a 1 terabyte SSD in a $500 build right now. It's just not gonna happen. This is probably a AliExpress Temu special. I have no idea. It does say PCIe Gen 3. The reviews on Amazon were actually good. Like, everyone's happy with it. So maybe it's just a newer brand that we haven't heard of. I have no idea. 500 gigs, 512 gigs. It's not even a question. Like, you're definitely not getting 1 terabyte in a $500 gaming PC right now. I paid $82 for this. It is what it is, man. This was literally the cheapest 500 gig SSD that I could find. Like, even used. I searched, like, at that current moment in time over the weekend, I searched everywhere. This was as cheap as I could get it, man. A lot of these are at, like, the $90 price range, so 82. It is what it is, man. I couldn't beat it. For the CPU cooler, again, remember, we have this whole, like, little switcheroo thing. I did also get a Wraith stealth cooler. We did this last time for the last previous build. You can buy these Wraith stealths for $11, brand new on Amazon. I don't really recommend. I mean, they work fine, especially for a 3600. But if you're not on an extremely tight budget, I'd rather you pay $16 and get like an ID Cooling 224 or something like that. But you can buy these brand new off Amazon for $11. So that's what we have. We're not going to use this one. We're going to use this one. Again, the whole switcheroo thing. I think you guys are tracking. For the power supply, you guys already know what we're going with here. We got the GameMax Cobra. Again, this is PCIe 5.1, ATX 3.1, 650 watts, 80 plus gold, tier C. I don't know why everyone in the chat is typing PICE. I got no idea what that means, but it is what it is, man. 35 bucks or actually they're $40 all day every day on Newegg. These have been sitting on Newegg for a very long time. For $40. It's some of the best budget power supply value that you can find right now. Here is the case that we waited so patiently for. I paid $50 for this thing brand new on Newegg. I don't think I've used this before. I'm pretty sure I have not used this. $50. This is the GameMax Defender. 50 bucks. I mean, so far it doesn't look bad. We have 4 pre-installed ARGB fans. There is room for 2 on the side here. If you wanted to add some extra airflow, that's pretty cool. No pun intended. Although that would be a good one. It is micro ATX. This is one of those weird cases where it's like deceiving. It looks like an ATX case with the 3 fans, several PCIe slots, etc. But it is only micro ATX, which is what I wanted, but just as a heads up. But yeah, we'll see how good that is for the evening. And then finally, our last part in our $509 gaming PC is this bad boy right here, man. Let me zoom in. Let me give you guys some... There we go, man. This was listed on Java. Hear me out. It was listed as scratched and dented, but fully working. Psh, sign me up. For $115. $115. This is an RTX 2060. 115 bucks. RTX 2060. Let's go. So usually, I would say the 2060s right now are at like, it's not crazy, a crazy deal. They're at like 130, maybe 150. But they had this lowered a little bit down to $115 because of this. Dude, sign me up. What? I'll take that all day. For 115, I think there's one other mark somewhere. Maybe even not. I mean, there's a couple, like, I don't even know if I can get the right angle here. There's a couple, yeah, right there. There's a couple of scratches. I don't see, oh, I see a random sticker here. I don't know what that is. I don't really see a dent though, man. I don't know what they were talking about. Scratched and dented. How do you even scratch that area? That's a question for another day. I have no idea. I mean, it's banged up. Like, don't get me wrong. But like, not to the point where this isn't a pretty good deal. Check the heatsink. From what angle? I mean, the heatsink looks fine. From what I can see. Yeah, I don't really see the dent. Not really sure what they're talking about. Scratch and dented RTX 2060 for $115. So yeah, that brings our part total to $509. We got a Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigs of DDR4 at 4,000 megahertz, 512 gigabyte SSD, and the RTX 2060. 509 bucks, man. Budget gaming PCs are still possible. Here is our totally Ryzen 5 3600. For any AMD CPU, this is how you want to hold it. From the sides. But make sure you're not... Make sure your fingers aren't bending towards and around the pins. You want to try to keep them as straight as possible. But that is going to go into the socket like that. Just to be serious real quickly, if you guys missed the intro of the video, that is not in fact a 3600. That is actually a 5500. I bought a 3600 used for this project for $60. I will be installing, well, I won't be. Somebody else will be installing that for our video. But that doesn't get here till tomorrow. So we're temporarily just putting a 5500 in there. We will swap it out, don't worry. Ad break? Alright, that's a perfect time to do this. The cooler is actually a Wraith Stealth cooler, so we will use that. I see the ads. I see them. We're good. I'm just going to work on this cooler real quickly. Real quickly, because we are not animals. I would never sell or build a gaming PC with the AMD logo rotated like that. So we're gonna do some surgery on this one real quick. Hopefully I don't break it. Why a stock cooler? Because it's a $500 build in 2026. And it cools the 3600 perfectly fine. Do I need to say more? Dude, it's $500 bill, man. People are paying $500 for the RAM. Oh no, that feels stuck. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a really tough one, actually. Ooh, there we go. Got it. All right, I was just popping Popping that guy off. That did not sound good. Don't clip that one. Don't break the cooler this time? Dude, I'm trying not to, man. Now we're going to uninstall these 4 screws so we can rotate it on the heatsink. And then go back to installing it. Before you do that, the CPU is sideways. Thank you, man. Thank you for the heads up. E-meditation with the $5 super chat. You banned me on Twitch on Tuesday. Just wanted to apologize. Thank you for the $5 YouTube super chat, man. Appreciate it. Best of luck in the unban process. All right, there we go. Now, I can lift that up, rotate it 90 degrees. There we go. You're going to need some water in 2.5 minutes? I don't think so, man. I think that might be pushing it. Zach, I see a broken connector. Do you actually? I mean, I would believe you if you actually do. Where? Please tell me that that's rage bait. I would believe you this time with the used $60 motherboard. Don't forget the RAM wiggle test. Dude, I'm kind of nervous about this one. This is a really good RAM deal, man. I don't want to mess this up. A really good deal. Obviously, you don't like extensions on a 5090, but what's your opinion on right angle adapters with power and temp monitoring? I mean, I've seen a few. I mean, my biggest opinion is I just have not done enough research on them. I've seen a few. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like, not weird, but like not super popular brands that have been making those sorts of products. It's, you know, on one side, I would like the additional monitoring and protection, but on the other side, it's like you're introducing another failure point into the gaming PC that is not required. So, I mean, there's pros and cons. I don't have a super strong opinion about that. I have never bought one of those so far. Maybe I will one day, but yeah, I'm not sure. Can we get back to building? Trailtech gifted out another tier 1 sub, thank you. David with the 8-month resub. Carlos with the 300 bit, he says, look at the left RAM slot. There is a screw with a standoff. Oh, nice. That I did not notice. I hope there's a standoff. Yeah. We gotta, look at that, man. Dude, I don't know about you, but I just call that extra value. We got a free standoff. With the used motherboard, man. I think the word you're looking for is reverse scammed. That's just free additional value. Although I am gonna yeah, I guess I gotta deal with that now, huh? Yeah, I don't think I can install the CPU cooler till I deal with that. Alright, we're gonna need some extra tools to make that happen. Actually, I hope they're in here. Oh yeah, they are. I haven't had to bust out the pliers for a while. There we go, man. Aesthetic, obviously. Red and black color scheme on the pliers. Okay. If you ever have a standoff, I am actually like a really bad example of how to do this. But here's how I would do it. I would use my needle nose pliers and grab the standoff underneath the motherboard and squeeze like that, and then use a, that way it keeps it in place, and then use a screwdriver, sorry, to get that out of there, and then get the standoff out of there. But look at that, man. Dude, we got some free value. We got a free standoff and a free screw with that motherboard. Dude, I mean, this build's cooking. Come on, bro, do a wiggly test. We're not there yet. All right. Now I can do this. We got thermal paste pre-installed. Don't worry, man. That is legit thermal paste. Don't worry about those 2 marks there. I have no idea what that is, but we're good. We're gonna perfectly line that up. We're gonna start all 4 screws going in our typical star pattern. And then once all 4 screws are good to go, then we'll start cranking them down into that back plate. All right. Might as well call it an under $500 bill with that reverse scam. Yeah, I mean, how much additional value did we get so far? I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I feel like we're about to be in a standoff shortage. That might be some serious extra value. Okay, now here is the weird thing. Again, for anybody that's just tuning in, this is the first motherboard that I've personally seen, but definitely, or quite possibly the first motherboard on the face of the planet, where the CPU header, CPU fan header, is down here. It's such a weird spot. I'm not kidding. I have literally never done that my entire life. So, it's gonna make hiding this cable a little bit more difficult, but I don't know if there's a spot that I can get this to hide. Yeah, that's gonna look weird till we get the RAM in there. Maybe like that. It's probably the best bet. But yeah, that is a crazy. Now that is the first diabolical thing. I don't know what else was earlier today, but that actually is. All right. Now let's get a RAM in here. Again, this is easily the best deal of this entire build. I don't know how to open this though. Actually, I have no idea how to open this. Brother. Oh, wow, that's fancy. I know it's crucial. We're allowed to hate crucial. Dude, I support that. But I bought this used. Dude, these are heavy sticks. This is a Crucial Ballistics Max. I've never used these before, man. 16 gigabytes at 4,000 megahertz. Absolutely crazy. For $90 used. That is absolutely wild. I'm going to be extremely disappointed if this isn't a banger ASMR. I have a feeling this is going to be good. I usually don't call them early. I have a feeling that this one is going to be absolute money, though. Okay, not bad. Not as good as I thought, but hold on. This next one's going to sound even better. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. That does it for me right there. That did it. Oh my God. So much extra value. All right. Let's install that. Hopefully this doesn't break. Oh, wow. That went in. Dude, that went in nice. Push that down. Use the little plastic. Whatever that thing's called. Oh, brother. I might have spoke too soon. That. Oh, I just had to push harder. My bad. There we go. There we go. There we go, man. Our motherboard is now Sorry. Our motherboard is now prepped. We got a Gigabyte B550MK, a Ryzen 5 3600 the Wraith stock cooler, 16 gigs of DDR4 clocked at 4,000 megahertz, and a 512 gigabyte Avodi SSD. What started Thirsty Thursday? That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing Thirsty Thursday for 5 years now. So probably like 7 to 8 years ago, nobody was live streaming builds. Like maybe like a Linus stream here and there, but definitely nowhere near. Nobody had a consistent PC building live stream. That's it. I literally just wanted to do something that I knew would be fun. When we first started live streaming, I think that the first Thirsty Thursday, it was 30 people. And I mean, like people like Shauner, he was definitely here back then. I remember like multiple years of like 70 to 80 people at Thirsty Thursday. I mean, it was a good time. Like we had a lot of fun. But we did multiple years of like a very tight-knit Thirsty Thursday stream. Do your PC lights look smoother? Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. All I did was reboot the PC, and now they're oh, brother, we got a problem. Oh my. Oh my god, what am I? Dude, I don't even know what I'm looking at. What is this? Oh, this is a bad one. Okay, that's that. That's all the normal stuff. This is the fans, dude. What is this? This is just the fans. Oh my god. This is gonna be super fun. There is SATA power though. I see an ARGB port here. We don't need that. Oh yes, we do have an... Oh no. Oh, it's okay. It's just recessed a little bit. Alright, we have an RGB button, so we can use that. Because our cheap motherboard does not have any ARGB headers. Okay, this isn't as bad as I was initially thinking. These are proprietary ARGB, or kind of. I don't know what that is, to be honest. But yeah, we're gonna have to do some serious cable management here, but the starting point is not ideal. But it's manageable. It's manageable. It's not as bad as I thought. Let's start with our IO shield here. These cheap cases are... This is what breaks the skin. You gotta be careful when installing this with the cheap cases. They're still super sharp edges. I think we're gonna need to add 2 standoffs here, correct? Before I install this. Are these in the right spot? Yeah, those are good. Okay, I need to install 2 standoffs, and then we also need to break off the top 2 PCIe brackets. Again, I always like to break these off before installing the motherboard. That way, when you're wiggling these off, you're not breaking off a capacitor or whatever else on your motherboard. So we will actually wiggle those 2 off, and then we will install 2 standoffs. What are standoffs? It's a good question. I got you, man. Hold on. So standoffs are these little things in the case, which is how the motherboard gets screwed into the case. So the screw that secures the motherboard in here is actually screwing into these standoffs. If you don't have a standoff, there's nothing for the screw to go into. So a lot of cases, they'll pre-install some of the standoffs, but not all of them. Sometimes it's great and you don't need to install any additional ones. But for this case and this motherboard, we need to install 2 additional standoffs. This is what they look like. Yeah, grounding points. There's a thread. The thread side is what goes into the case. And then there's a hole side, which is... that's where the screw goes. So you can hand tighten these into the slots on the case, but I would recommend somehow tightening those down. If you don't tighten them down, whenever you install the screw into it, then these are going to spin, and then you're going to have a hanging standoff like I showed earlier in the stream. To tighten those down, you can use needle nose pliers as a last resort. Grab it and just keep twisting it. Or, this case actually did not come with them, which is sad. You can also use a standoff tool. These usually come with the case, but sometimes they don't. This is a standoff adapter, which on one side is just a Phillips screw, and the other side is a hole that goes around the standoff. So I'm gonna put that on top of the standoff, and now I can use my screwdriver to twist and screw that standoff completely tight. See how I hand tightened it down, but then when I use a screwdriver, I mean, I still got like at least a full 3 rotations out of that. So there's definitely a lot of room to tighten that farther. That's why I really like using the tool. But now that those are in place, now I can install the motherboard. Personally, I only install motherboards with every single standoff being used. So for this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 standoffs. I like to use all 8 screws to make sure the motherboard is perfectly level on there and perfectly secure. Now, one other piece of information that you need to know about standoffs is there are 2 types of screws that can go in a standoff. I still to this day have yet to figure this one out. But there are thin screws and there's thicker screws for standoffs. I still have yet to gain the skill of being able to look at a standoff and tell you which screw it is. Usually it's a safe bet just to go with whichever screws the case comes with. They will come with the correct pairing. But if you are screwing screws into the standoff and it feels like you're cranking down a little bit too tight, stop, because you are probably using the bigger screw and you are going to mess up the threads of your standoff so you can't use it. So be careful with that. I feel like 90% of the cases use the same ones. Close, yeah. I would guess it's probably 80-20, but close enough, yeah. The majority of cases use the thinner screws. But I mean, I feel like the cases that use the thicker screw standoffs, I feel like it's probably about 20%. I think one is metric and the other one is SAE. Yeah, it's probably a quick Google search away. I have never bothered to look at it. But there are 2 different ones, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. I'm sure that's like very common knowledge to some people, but I never bothered to look that up. Okay, so now I'm just going to screw in all of those, and then we should be good. Coarse thread and fine thread? I mean, yeah. That is what it appears to be. Why is that a difference? That I don't know. I broke standoffs by using the screws from my old case. Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal. Like, the worst that happens is you just strip out the threading of the standoff, and then you can't really use it again. But you just get another standoff and you should be fine. We gotta get dialed in with this build. Okay, what all... Let's start plugging things in first before we cable manage. You should drink water after saying actuate so much. That's valid. That's valid, but we're gonna build. Okay, first I'm gonna plug in... Hold on, we got camera angles here, man. There we go. Oh, hold on. There we go. Don't mind the sim rig back there. We're gonna plug in some HD audio. Right here. I know you probably still can't see it. You see my bald spot, but I'm trying. HD audio is plugged in. Then we actually have a USB 2.0. I haven't plugged in a 2.0 for several builds now. That's how you know we're doing a budget build. We got some USB 3.0 action. Like that. And then we have the front panel connectors. We got all of them this time. We'll start with HDD in the bottom left. Then we'll go reset switch beside that. Then we'll go power LED, positive and negative, in the top left corner. And then we'll go power switch right next to that. If you don't have the order of those cables memorized, just check your motherboard manual. It'll have the diagram of... Oh my god. I need a camera, man. There we go, these. It'll have the diagram of how exactly to plug that in. Spoiler alert, it's the same on every single motherboard. So, if you build enough PCs, you'll have that memorized, but use your motherboard manual if you need it. Okay, now we need to actually cable manage. Nobody reads the manual? I know, that's why I have a job. Because nobody reads the manual. Okay. Let's start doing this. Dude, this is going to be a high... dude, I don't even have my zip ties. This is going to be a high zip count tie. Or zip count day for sure. The over-under is going to be through the roof on this one. It's going to be bad. Not gonna connect the fans? There is no fan connection. It is just SATA power, which is this. Yeah, these are not... This is a $50 case. This is not PWM. They are just gonna be getting their power from SATA. There is an ARGB connector. One, we don't have an ARGB header. Two, I would rather use the case button to control the colors anyway. So it's all good. This is a $50 GameMax Defender case. Again, this is a $509 gaming PC. We don't have some of the luxury features right now. Fans full blow mode. Yeah, I mean, whenever this happens, the fans usually aren't that bad, to be honest. Like, if you have PWM fans and you ramp them up to 100%, yeah, I mean, that can be, like, extremely loud. But usually with budget cases, it's not as bad as you would think, to be honest. It's usually not that terrible. What is terrible is this cable management. So we're just gonna start zip tying and see where the day takes us here. This could get a little rough. And I don't have a strategy right now. I'm just gonna start zip tying stuff. See how it looks. Water? You guys, come on. That's a bad one too, man. That's worse than the last one. You guys think it's a good idea to take a hydration break? Like right when I start zip tying? This is the most locked in I've been all night. Come on, it's not... Guys, remember, this is... I was not kidding, man. Like, the hydration monitor needs to be somebody that is actually locked in. You know? You got to take into account all of these different variables. You know? Hydration is one of them, but it's also the flow of the build, the momentum, you know? The locked-inness. You can't expect me to hydrate as soon as I get re-dialed in with the cable management. You know? Come on, guys. I know we haven't done this for a while. So, you have a pass, but I need the hydration monitors to be better. What's the pay rate for the hydration monitor? Gratitude. That's about the best I can offer you right this second. Well, actually, to be honest, you're not getting even that right now, but I need you to be more dialed in for the gratitude. Same pay rate as the mods? Trail tag, come on, man. I know that's true. I think one day we can get the mods well compensated. But like, I'm just saying, before you became a mod, like I took the mods on a very fun snowboarding trip out in Breckenridge, Colorado, man. That was at least a little bit of payment. Not necessarily a salary, but like, it has a little, it can have some perks, but yeah, you're right. It still is the same. Sorry. I'm working on it, man. How long have you been building PCs? My entire life. I think I built my first one when I was 5. I am 34. So that's what? That's like 70 years of PC building. Granted, there was a very long time that I didn't build a PC. I built my first PC when I was 5. Like I helped around my parents had the PC building and repair shop when I was a kid. I helped around, but like, I don't think I built like another PC start to finish until, I don't know, maybe like 10 or something. It's not like I was actively building PC. Like my kids, they have significantly more PC building experience than I did as a kid. I mean, my 6-year-old, he's probably up to 10 now. He's probably built 10 PCs already at this point, with my help, of course. I think we're good to start snipping some of these. Diesel Gamer with 300 Biddy says, I did tell you my specs about my new PC I built, but I don't know if you saw it. Hold on. I think I see it now. Oh, Diesel? 9950 X3D for my X870. Corsair 9000D, 32 gigs of RAM. Corsair 1200 watt power supply. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, Diesel. What do you need from me? That's a fantastic PC. I don't know what your GPU is, but... What case is that? Is the GameMax Defender. It's $50. Brand new on Newegg. Testing it out. I don't think I've ever used this one before. I might have, but I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I did not. These are you flexing on us? Yeah, he might be, man. Here's what the cable management looks like after the motherboard is installed. I actually cleaned this all up. I mean, the PSU basement is a mess, but who cares? That's fine. Actually, I can clean it up a little bit more. We can pull some of this a little bit tighter just to make it a little neater and to add to the zip tie count. If any of you have been counting these zip ties, that's cheating. We'll do our guessing at the end. We don't count cards nor zip ties around here. That is definitely frowned upon. Yeah, we'll just clean this up a little bit. Add a couple more down here, but this is just the PSU basement, so like, who really cares? There's a reason it's in the basement? Exactly. Water? Alright, I'm officially regretting that one. That... I no longer blame you guys, I'm blaming myself. That was a bad call. Reaching out to, the masses on that one. I mean, that might have been the worst hydration reminder I've ever seen in my entire life. That was atrocious. Once again, I'm literally getting redialed in here. Absolutely disgusting drink reminder right there. Okay. Let's get our power supply installed here, shall... Oh, that... Nope, hold on, I got you. Yep. The dramatic zoom out. Yep. Alright. Check that out. There we go. We got the angle. Let's get this power supply installed. Like so. I need some power supply screws. We'll use the ones that it came with. Right here. Is that how you correctly pick up a PSU? No. Are Velcro ties better than zip ties? You know, for a personal build, and especially if you haven't built a lot of PCs, I would actually say that Velcro is better. The one advantage to zip ties is that you can really crank them down, which is nice, because it makes it look a little bit neater, tighter, etc. But Velcro is obviously reusable. And if you haven't built a lot of PCs before, then you're probably going to mess up. And you'll need to uncable manage things and re-cable manage them. Uninstall components, reinstall components, etc. So, I mean, Velcro is good. I think for my situation, zip ties are just a little bit more convenient. I do like that I can really crank them down. But yeah, I mean, Velcro, there's some good value in using Velcro instead. Good question. Alright, gonna plug in the 24 pin into the motherboard. That's right here, that's good. Now I'm going to plug in the 4+4 for the CPU. Got the cable. That's up here. Plug that in. And then while we're here, I will route the 6+2 for the GPU. We don't have a hole here for the power supply cable to run through. I really like when there's a hole here. That way the cable is only shown like right at the front. This case doesn't have that, so it's got a route all the way from the back. Just shows the cable a little bit more. Not a huge deal. But now that that is plugged in, now we can get back to cable managing. So I'm going to pull this 24 pin tight. I saved this line of zip tie down points for this bulky 24 pin instead of putting it like right on top of the other cables that we have. This way I can route it over here like this, and that'll go down parallel to this other bulk. That'll look nice, and it keeps the overall bulk in the back of the case now. Yep, we got to do SATA power as well. That's in the basement. We'll do that after this. I like that case. It was terrifying at first, but this case is not... I mean, I haven't even turned it on yet, though, so let's not jump to conclusions. But so far, it's actually not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Grabbing the second handful of zip ties. Now, for this one, this has the double 4+4. So usually I try to find a spot for that 4+4 to go down like this. Kind of hide in there. I'm going to feed my... Sometimes it's a little tricky to get these zip ties in here. This is where zip ties come in handy a lot, because on this side of the case, when you're cable managing with Velcro, it's really hard to crank these down. You just don't have a lot of room to crank down the Velcro. So it's easier to use zip tie. But if I mess this up, or if the zip tie breaks, then I got to do the whole thing over again, and then Velcro would have been great. But there we go. I almost cut myself on some type of sharp edge. I don't know where, but I almost did. And then I'll just do one more here at the bottom, just to keep that cable nice and tight going down the side here. You use some thick boy zip ties? Yeah, I'm kind of in a phase right now of using the thicker zip ties. Like the case, I mean, I still use the thin ones. The case came with a handful of the thin ones, but like, I'm not really seeing any... This is kind of like a revelation I've been having. I'm not really seeing any disadvantage of just using the thicker ones. So I've been kind of just... I've been doing some builds where that's all I use. I'm not like thinking about it a whole lot. But it is something that I have been doing a little bit differently lately. Okay. So now I'm going to try to bundle up as much of these extra, because this is a non-modular power supply. But I do need to connect that SATA power. So we need to make sure we have room there. I don't know if that's all going to fit in the PSU basement. Yeah, we'll use one zip tie just to bundle this whole thing together. Crank that down. And we'll cut that one right away, because we don't need that. And I'll start stuffing this. I don't know if this is all going to fit. This probably won't, actually. Into this hard drive cage. We could just remove the hard drive cage. I'm actually thinking... Yeah, I think that might actually be better. I think it's just one screw. Let's just remove the hard drive cage completely. We're not going to be taking advantage of that. And then we'll plug in. Again, this is the SATA power that came included with the case. We need to plug that in so the case fans RGB and power just work. That's how they get their power. So now we got that bundle cables going down here like that. Not too bad. Start snipping these. You also risk the potential devastation of when you're clipping zip ties, if you accidentally clip a cable, that would be awful. I somehow have never done that in my life. I know at some point it will happen, probably on stream when I'm drinking scotch or getting terrible hydration reminders. One day that will probably happen and it'll be awful. All right, final step. Well, one of the final steps. We have our RTX 2060. Oh, nope. I gotta uninstall this first. Or at least slide that. That we paid $115 for. Used, of course. For a pretty solid deal. Over on Java. Which is absolutely perfect. For a $500 gaming PC. In 2026. Screw that in. Go to Washington State. It's better here. I don't know, man. What are the pros of Washington State? There we go. And now, can I hide this? No. So this has the unfortunately the very ugly double 6+2s. We don't need them. We only need one of them. So aesthetically, can't really see this, but I'm gonna zip tie these down. That way it's less. These I actually will use the thin zip ties for, just so we don't see them as badly. But I'm gonna zip tie them together. That way they're not, that extra connector isn't just flailing all over the place. Usually use 2 zip ties for it. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but... How finished is this build? Pretty close to finished. We're making good timing, but... Again, this is all used parts, so like... We could be 3 hours away from this thing being done. You just never know when you have this many used parts. Alright. GPU power cable is plugged in. Gonna pull that cable tight towards the back. And then, yeah, there's not much left I need to do for cable management. I don't even think there's an extra zip tie that I have to install. I mean, that's not bad, right? We'll do one more. We'll do one more to boost up those numbers. We'll combine this bundle over here. There we go. Make that look a little fancier. Okay, let's test this PC before I install the should we just install the back panel? We're kind of copping out by doing a test run before I button it up. How confident are we feeling about this build? It might be the scotch, but I'm gonna button this thing up, man. I think we're good. I think we're good. We're not gonna have to go back in this back panel. I'm not gonna have to adjust anything. This PC is 100% good to go. I think we can all agree with that. We're not gonna have any sort of issue. I definitely did not forget to plug in an RGB connector or anything else. I mean, this PC is as dialed in gets. All right, that panel's on, and it is definitely not coming off. Because this PC, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to go. Dialed. Look at that, man. That is dialed in. Check this out. Oh, that. Oh, wow. That. Oh, that looks really good. Dialed in, man. That's a wrap. I don't see any error lights, but I don't know if this actually has error light diagnostics on it. Because usually you'll get like at least a white light. I don't see any sort of light on this motherboard. So I don't know if it's actually working or not. But dude, I think we're good, man. What RGB we feeling? Looks clean and mysterious with that purple light. What about RGB puke? No, we can't do that. Let's have some dignity for ourselves. Purple. Oh, I'm seeing a couple people say purple. Was that just because that was the first one? All right, we got red. Oh wait, dude, I'm not pressing the button. It's doing that on its own. I'm not pressing it. Why is it doing that? Oh, I've had this problem before. I think you gotta like double click it or something. There we go. Yeah, you get. Oh, wait, now it's fading. It's got like different modes. All right. Oh no, it's still dude. I'm not. How do I get out of this mode? Maybe hold it down. Okay, now they're off. There we... Dude, why is it doing that? I can't get it to stay on a static color. I've had this problem before with budget cases. Stay. No, it's not. Wait, is it? Nope. Come on. Manual time? We're so close. That was on red for a while. How do I switch it? I got it. Alright. Just double clicking. Now I can scroll through. There's blue. Yellow. Yeah, we might stick with purple, man. That looks pretty good. This is our $509 gaming PC. Not too shabby, ladies and gentlemen. Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigs of DDR4 clocked at 4,000 megahertz, 512 gig SSD, and a RTX 2060. I'm gonna make a YouTube video about this. We're gonna benchmark the heck out of this thing over the weekend and next week, and the video will go live. This is actually the very next YouTube video. So we'll be working on that starting tomorrow.